All right, and we are back. 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 Welcome. All right, and we are back. And today we're back with another reaction video. And as a good follow-up to the alien or the UFO religions video, wanted to do some Kurzgesagt again. Love the science videos, and this time they're actually talking about aliens. And they're actually talking about how there's thousands of alien empires in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm very interested. I do believe that there's life out there. We're not the only ones out there. But space is big. There's that whole mess. We haven't really got to see a lot of it. We don't really know. We know a lot about it, but we don't know a lot about it at all. So this is one of those things. So, guys, this is going to be a fun one. So get ready. Let's take a seat. If you haven't already, make sure you go to Kurzgesagt, subscribe to them. Like, comment below, tell him that I sent you, and be like, yo, you should subscribe to him because he's really cool. I think he makes the best reactions to your videos, guys, and he tells everybody to go there, and it's the whole driving content. It's a big circle, guys. It's a big circle. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video for more, because you literally never know what I'll put out next, unless you read the thumbnails. And if you have, congratulations. I am proud of you. And guys, with that being said, I do have one thing that I almost never talk about on this channel, and I just want to make sure you guys are aware of it. That is that I have merch. Put the merch on the hand right there. Also, I have a Patreon. Put the Patreon on the hand right there. And then also, here's the serious part. I know I joke a lot on this, but here's the serious part. If you guys don't like, comment, and subscribe, more importantly, subscribe, YouTube will come through that door right over there, and they will Kurzgesagt. There are thousands of alien empires in the Milky Way galaxy.
What if there are thousands of alien empires in the Milky Way, each spanning a few to maybe tens of star systems, chatting, trading, sometimes shooting or ignoring each other politely? And if so, why is nobody visiting us? While the Milky Way is ancient...
The answer, we're boring. Not enough happening so far. We need to be, level up. They have the whole level, what was that? The whole world level system or whatever. There's tiers to what level we should be at before we start interacting with intergalactic life, according to scientists or whatever. And we're at level 0. We haven't fully mastered the Earth yet. We don't know how to do that type of stuff. We can't just go to another planet and completely, turn over their resources and make it inhabitable for ourselves. We can't terraform Mars. We haven't figured that part out. Then after that, we got to figure out how to use the power from our sun, the nearest star. We got to, do the whole building of the thing around it, and then gathering its energy and all that stuff. We got a ways to go before other other planets and other life forms start looking at us and being like, oh, that's a cool spot. Maybe we should be able to communicate out further. Look at how far we can communicate. It's not far at all. We really can't communicate with anybody. They probably don't even know we're around.
And gigantic, even traveling at 10% the speed of light, any civilization could take over the whole galaxy within 1 million years.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen anybody yet. So it seems we're alone in the Milky Way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's only been 100,000 years since they've been doing it, Maybe they just kind of got started. That's the whole thing. We don't know their timeline. It could be 1,000,001 years, and maybe we overestimated the amount of time. Maybe it actually takes 2 million years to do, and they're they're halfway through it. They haven't made it around our side. Maybe there's planetary, galactic things that we don't, travels. When you're traveling through space, there's issues. We don't even know about those issues yet. It's like getting on a ship. You expect the ship to sail perfectly smooth the whole way. There's bumps in the road. We don't know about that.
But this idea is built on a lot of assumptions.
Yes.
Usually, when scientists speculate where all the alien civilizations are, they assume technology will progress to a point where colonizing all of space becomes kind of easy. But what if we're thinking about this the wrong way?
Exactly.
What if the universe is full of life, but no matter how technologically advanced you are, space is never easy? What if aliens slowly crawl through space, expanding like humans did over the ocean? Let's look at...
Guys, what did I just say? It's almost like I made this video. Guys, and I want to make sure you know, I did not make the video. I'm not Kurzgesagt. And I know there's a lot of confusion with that out there on the webs. People may assume that, obviously my reactions are so incredible. You guys think that, hey, you are probably just him. I'm not. So that's the sad news for you guys. I'm not Kurzgesagt, but I'm just really good.
At the only data point we have, ourselves. The available real estate in the galaxy.
Okay.
Oceania is a region with
title.
tens of thousands of islands scattered across millions of square kilometers, separated by an unforgiving, deadly sea.
Okay.
Kind of like a galaxy. Some 5,000 years ago, the first people set out to colonize Oceania.
See, I like this comparison. We're comparing like the islands of the oceanic region to space. That's a good start, I feel like it's gonna be a little bit different. They didn't really have to deal with asteroids in Oceania, but you know what? I wasn't there, so I really don't know. I can't say that for sure, but I have a feeling that they didn't.
Especially the Polynesians achieved mind-blowing feats. Without any modern
Shout outs to the
technology, they
Polynesians
set
out
out
there.
into the vast nothing.
If you're Polynesian watching this video, shout outs to you. I love the Polynesian tattoos, man. They're my favorite.
Hoping to find a new island to claim, or, die, far from home. But most of the Pacific Islands are merely a few wet rocks or corals, maybe some palm trees, and if you're lucky, birds making a pit stop. Others with more vegetation are often hostile, lacking the resources to really sustain a lot of people, and remain uninhabited even today. And then there are the good islands. The Polynesians colonized them, spreading their culture and society to dozens of remote islands of all sizes.
Makes sense.
Some united in kingdoms spanning many islands, others were independent, many home to competing and belligerent tribes. And although thousands of kilometers apart, even the most remote islands were connected with at least some trade and exchange. A microcosm of humanity. But it didn't always work out. The extremely isolated Pitcairn Islands were settled for hundreds of years and relied on trade with each other and bigger islands hundreds of kilometers away. And then the local population vanished. We don't know why. Maybe because the islanders did the human thing and ravaged the natural resources until they became unsustainable. Maybe the decline on distant, bigger islands severed important connections. We only know their culture declined and they left or died out.
Yeah.
What if space?
I imagine they were just like, you know what? This ain't the best island. We could probably do better after a while. And then some people were, those stubborn people who were just like, I was born on this island. I'm going to die on this island. And then they, unfortunately they passed on that island. But, then other people probably just moved to a different island one day. There was probably just like a one day where a bunch of people just were like, you know what? I'm going to go this way. You're going to go that way. People just kind of spread apart, became other islanders. Maybe they went to the other island that they were trading with and just made that place bigger. Or maybe both of those people from both the islands were like, let's go to some of these other places. I feel like they didn't all. I don't know how mysterious it was. I feel like I just solved the mystery. So hit me up if you're an expert, and I will let you know how I was able to figure this out. Just keen eye, you just gotta really gotta look at these type of things. You get the evidence, you look at it, you be like, yeah, this is how that mystery gets solved. And some people call me a detective.
Is an ocean to us, a hostile place that's hard to conquer. Would alien civilizations spread like the Polynesians? The universe is kind of a horrible place. The Milky Way has around 200 billion star systems, and it seems that almost all of them have planets. Estimates vary, but there may be some 300 million to tens of billions of rocky Earth-like planets in the habitable zone around a star where water can be liquid. Amazing. Except that most of them are terrible. Hells of lava, dead frozen worlds, bare rocks sterile from radiation, blanked by toxic atmospheres. It's easy to forget, but Venus and Mars are Earth-like too. Mars is the next human frontier and fairly exciting. But Mars dust is poison, and deadly radiation and low gravity will make you sick. Mars is the worst. Except Venus is even worse, crushing you to death, burning and dissolving you in acid. If humanity was really motivated and had the resources and energy, both could be terraformed within maybe 1,000 years. We showed how in other videos.
Yeah, but like I may have to watch those videos, but I don't think we can terraform Mars or Venus given 1,000 years. I think it would probably take. I think that's overestimating how much we can get done right there. I feel like I'm gonna underestimate us. I'm gonna give us like 100,000 minimum to terraform a planet. How about we terraform Earth to make it clean and better before we start thinking of ideas on how to like terraform Venus or Mars. That should be our number one. Priority there is making sure Earth is cool, because I like Mars. It's cool. Venus, I like that one too. It seems really fun. But you know what, I really do love Earth. It's like biased opinion here, and I know if anybody who's not from Earth is watching this, you're going to be like, "Oh, look at this guy from Earth. He's always going to be talking about Earth," and I get it. But one last time, I think Earth is really cool. It's because I was born there. Yes, that's true. Everyone I know was also born here. Everyone I've ever heard about or ever read about in history was from Earth. So it just makes sense on why we should like focus on Earth first, and then we can focus on other planets. Like let's focus on Earth. That should be a number one. Like I coined that term right now. Just remember that if you hear anybody else saying Earth is cool, they got it from me.
But the thing is, we already have a planet that's pretty great, so currently humanity's motivation is not very strong.
Yeah.
Now let's think about this in terms of galactic expansion.
You see how my ideas are already like kind of like expanding to other places. Like I just said it just now, and then he said it in the video that came out like 9 days ago. But the more important part is that you heard me say it before he said it in the video. So like again, I'm pretty good.
If the Milky Way is like a vast ocean full of islands, most are planets like Mars and Venus, barren rocks or corals where nothing grows and the elements kill you. Imagine boarding a generation ship to travel for 100 years or more, only to arrive at a new star, and then you get a Mars. Or worse, a Venus. What a letdown.
But you gotta look for the right, like I think what we do now is look for the right patterns in gases that the planet like puts out, because we know that since we're on Earth and we need oxygen, we know what oxygen kind of looks like. We can kind of look for those trace elements, like look for the right, right mix before we get there. So I imagine in this fictionalized like ship, they would have that technology available. I mean, they can already hold a civilization for over 100 years on the ship itself. So like I'm giving them that technology as well. So yeah, they're going to be able to like scan the planet before they get there, and then they'll know which ones to land on based off of like, okay, because you wouldn't even want to just go anywhere. You'd want to make sure you're headed on a good pattern here when you're going into space. You can't just go fly out there willy-nilly. So you got to go, pick a direction, probably based off of what planet had some good, readings when you're still on your initial planet. Then you go out there, and then when you get closer, you're like, all right, now we're in the solar system. Let's scan all these planets again right quick. Let's make sure it's all good. bam, then you got it. You know, you got to, again, you guys just got to think about things a little bit first.
Terraforming them is such an intense investment in terms of resources to make it worth spending the time to travel to the stars for bad planets. Maybe the simple reason we don't see galaxy-spanning civilizations is that the economics just don't add up for almost all of the star systems out there.
Yeah.
But wait, you might say it's actually easy. A high-tech race with unlimited resources could automate this process, sending thinking machines that report back every few thousand years with new planets ready for fresh settlers, or automated ships with embryos.
But think of the time scales you're thinking about now. First we said they can hold them for 100 years. Then we said it's going to take 1,000 years for, them to, terraform, or maybe it was for us, but like, we don't know how long it's going to take them to terraform the planet. Maybe it does take them another 100 years. Now the place got to hold the people for 200 years. You got to think about the time scales on that. Or do they just send the ships out first, then they get the information back? It takes them a long time to get there, and then maybe the information's sent back automatically. Maybe it still takes some time to travel. I don't know. They haven't, figured that out yet. Then it takes time to terraform the planet. Then it takes time for the people to actually get there again, and then populate the planet. Like, again, this whole million-year time scale seems like it's like, a little bit over exaggerated. I feel like this could be like 2 million years, 3 million years, 4 or 5 million years. Like, it's gonna take like, let's say it takes about 1,000 years per planet, just to terraform it, and then you got to take probably like another couple of 100 years just to, like, you got to put the people there. They got to be born. They got to have a civilization. You got to be taught. They're not going to be all perfect on the first try. They're going to have their errors, and they're going to need their guidance. And even with that guidance, it's like, teenagers don't all come out perfect. Like, come on. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a little bit tougher than you guys are putting out in this video to terraform, and then also like get around the planet, plus expenses. Even with unlimited resources, does this fit into the budget of, like, should we do this? Like, why are we doing this? Just because we have the money don't mean we should be spending the money for no reason. Like, is there a point to terraforming this new planet? Like, have we terraformed enough planets for our liking right now? Maybe we should do some trade before we start terraforming new ones first. Like, tons of things to think about, guys.
If it were that easy, someone would have done it by now. So either we are really alone, or it's not easy. Thinking about alien civilizations, you need to make loads of assumptions, and for this video, we're assuming that space is hard even for high-tech civilizations that have broken free from the limitations we have today.
Yeah.
Now, things are getting exciting. So what if alien civilizations actually ignore the bad islands and just pick the very best?
Probably.
Stringing together island empires like the Polynesians. Thousands of galactic empires. Every star moves in its own orbit through the galaxy, and most stellar neighborhoods are only temporary. At any given time, in some regions there will be more good islands than in others, while simply because of bad luck, other regions will be pretty isolated.
Yeah.
Earth might currently be in one of these backwaters, surrounded by really bad islands for dozens of light years in all directions. We may be Pitcairn Island, so isolated that nobody knows we're here or cares to establish a colony so remote.
Probably.
But elsewhere in the Milky Way, good islands may be more common. There it would be relatively easy for a high-tech civilization to jump from one good star system to the next, creating connected empires.
Earth is like the underdog. We like that pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of planet. Like, we come from the mud. We pull ourselves up. From the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we here type of thing. Like, when Earth make it up there, Earth is like in the console of like intergalactic planets and stuff, and they're like, oh man, should Earth get some representation? And then we get our guy. That guy about to be like, psh, yeah, here's a good policy. Oh, y'all haven't thought about that? Bam, here's that. Bam, here's that. And then they're gonna be like, whoa, Earth is really cool, guys. We should start doing what the people on Earth do. And then we're gonna be like influencers, obviously. We're gonna introduce them to like YouTube, all the fun stuff. They're gonna be like, oh man, we never even thought about a PlayStation 5. Oh man, bro, we should help you guys make a PlayStation 6 with our alien tech. And then, bro, I'm telling you, this is the type of stuff that Earth would bring to the table, and that's why we be shooting up the ladder towards the top of the intergalactic council when we get there eventually. And I believe in us. If you have to believe in you too.
Strings of worlds with all the adventure and challenges of expansion, even to really good planets. Do they need to animate dead worlds with oceans? How do they cope with alien microorganisms or strange ecosystems? Do they need to burn it all down and create a mirror of their home world, or do they adapt? How many centuries do they need to make a planet truly their home? Empires expanding in regions full of good islands would probably meet each other. Maybe they trade, maybe they fight, maybe they have coffee and chat about the meaning of it all. And just like some of the Polynesian islands, it's likely that many of these planets would be abandoned or for the empires to break apart for a number of reasons.
War.
First of all, most great neighborhoods would dissolve over time and connected islands would become remote. Then it just may be the nature of civilization to become unsustainable or self-destructive. Humanity is extremely young, and we've already flirted with extinction. There are numerous existential risks, cultural, technological, and environmental, that any civilization has to deal with. And smaller colonies on new planets would likely be less resilient than their home worlds and in bigger danger of dying out. Whenever this happens, this would leave a good island free again for others to rediscover and colonize. It's free real estate. Also, space is
That's a good reference there.
just a different ballpark. The enormous distances between stars make it hard to maintain a consistent civilization. Just think about how many cultures we have on Earth alone. Imagine if sending a message between continents took decades to arrive. Would colonies care what the home world wants from them if it can neither help nor really enforce its will on them? This also would make interstellar war, except the genocidal kind, completely uneconomic. Would you go to war with someone because their great-grandfather killed yours? At these distances, it's not like anyone could easily sneak up on each other anyway. And on a much more fundamental level, if island empires don't exchange relevant amounts of genetic information, if there are no hookups between worlds, sooner or later, these populations will develop in different directions and eventually become different species, making it less likely that they'll want to be under common rule. So the idea of enormously big connected empires may
This all makes sense. This is a really good one so far. Now again, most of this boils down to me being right at the beginning of the video, but that's just a whole nother story. You guys already expected that. That's why I love you guys. That's why you guys love me. It's a whole thing, I get it. I get it. I get it.
just not be feasible if the galaxy is an ocean where good islands are few and far between. But this also means that new civilizations may pop up constantly, spread and partially or completely die out, even if just by splitting into different factions. Islands may be recolonized and abandoned over and over. What would this mean for us? We might think we're alone only because we're on an isolated island right now. But there could be thousands of worlds full of diverse civilizations elsewhere that we would eventually drift closer to.
Yeah.
Does this make the Milky Way more scary or less scary?
For me, it's about the same. I'm not going to be affected by this. I mean, there's a good chance that nobody who's currently alive is going to see this, because this could be a thing that happens 100,000 years from now. Hopefully this video will still be up. Shout outs to me if it does. If you're watching this 100,000 years from now, shout outs to you. I hope that things are going good. Say hello to the new alien people that you meet. Hopefully some type of crazy economic system hasn't completely ruined your life. Shout outs to capitalism, all the type of stuff. Hopefully that hasn't happened to you and life is really good right now. This is the everybody's wearing all white suits type of futuristic, everybody's happy type of thing, but also you guys aren't banning books and stuff like that. So hopefully there's still music and emotions, but also there's peace. Fingers crossed. you let me know. If time travel got invented, let me know. Type in the comments.
Is it a good thing that we'd have time to get our act together before we face anyone else? Or is it a great tragedy that we might not have the chance to meet our neighbors beyond for a long, long time? Well, we don't know, but it is something for you to ponder tonight when you look up at the sky again. Hopefully, humanity is still at the beginning, and we're learning a tiny bit more about the universe every day. One day, we might spot a good island, and if we're lucky, many more close by.
I mean, us spotting the island isn't going to do much because we can't get there. It's like us looking at a planet and be like, oh, that looks like it'd be a cool place. We're not going to be there. That just means we got a big telescope. But the real thing is for another planet or another civilization to see our planet and be like, yo, that looks like a cool planet. Let's go there. Oh, look, they got people there too. Oh, cool. Let's go and introduce ourselves. And then hopefully, we're going to have to control ourselves now. We're going to have to be like, hey guys, make sure you guys don't just like take out this planet or just like attack these people so they don't destroy our planet. This is like when we have guests coming over. You got to be on your best behavior for the guest. We don't, even if the guests are like a little bit weird or have a little funny smell, or don't mention it. Just be cool. They're just being nice people, and they're gonna help us out later if we're nice to them. So this is gonna be the challenge for us because us as humans can be like the worst sometimes. But I believe in us. I believe we're gonna like pull ourselves together. We don't want to, and don't make these alien people mad. When they eventually show up. So. Whether I'm talking to us now, people 100 years from now, 100,000 years from now, when the aliens show up, don't be a dick. Just be cool, just be cool, okay?
One huge problem we face as a species is that we can't agree on what's going on. There are loads of news media, but most of them tend to frame reality through their point of view.
Yeah.
And worse, they're trying to get your attention with the most alarmist distorting reality further.
That's true.
Ground News, the sponsor of this
Ground
video.
News. Man, guys, I love Ground News. And you're going to love Ground News too. Why is that, you ask me? That's a good question. Because Ground News is going to help you get fully unbiased sources, guys. And I've heard about this. I actually really enjoy this idea. So check this out. With Ground News, you're going to put in a topic. Let's say you put in something about the SpaceX, and you're trying to learn about SpaceX. It's going to tell you about the different types of media, whether it's going to be left-wing media, right-wing media, unbiased reports. And they're going to have a little toggle here, let you know, like, oh wow, who wrote this? Is it like, what's going on? How much factuality is it? Is it left leaning? Is it center? What's going on with these articles before you read it? That way when you're getting fully unbiased sources or when you're getting biased sources. You can kind of see what type of sources you're using, and it really is going to help you out. This is a really great option for you to see the difference between the left and center leaning articles versus the right leaning articles. It all makes sense. So, let's say you just have a preference. Maybe you want to read the right leaning articles. Maybe you want to read the left leaning articles, or maybe you're like most people and you're just trying to be in the center. Then you have all the options. Maybe you're in the center, but then you're like, what do these people think on both sides? Maybe you're a right-leaning guy. You're like, yo, what do left-leaning people really think? Instead of what do I make believe that they think? Left-leaning people, what if you're like, yo, what do right-leaning people actually think? Versus all the things that I just make up that they think, So like, you guys actually get to see what each other think. It will really be helpful for you as a person. Because even if you want to make a convincing argument against something, you should probably know what they're actually saying. That way you can make an argument against them. Or, maybe reading left-leaning or right-leaning articles isn't going to make you change your political leanings because, at least now you get to know which places are what. So shout outs to this. This is a really good resource, guys. I'm sure he has a code for it.
What's really going on in the world and can
Yeah,
help
get
you
to
to
know
make
what's
up
really
your
going on
own
in the
mind.
world, and it's a really good resource here. All you got to do is go to Ground News / nutshell, and make sure you
Right
sign
at
in.
ground.
Guys, there's a code right here. Go to his page. The link will be down in the description below. Go to the page so you can click on that, scan that code. I don't know if you can scan it right now. Try to scan it on this page too, but also go to his page. Go to the page and click on the link in his page. That way people know that they're going to the right place and getting the right resources. This is a really great thing. You're going to get 40% off unlimited access. Jeez, that's incredible. It's almost giving it away. It's literally almost giving it away. You were thinking a few minutes ago, like, man, my news sources are so biased, and now you're gonna get this 40% off for unlimited access, so you can get fully, checked out sources, know if it's biased, unbiased, or not. You'll get to see which one is in your, which leans towards you. Or if you just want to read it all, get to read it all.
And off the
It's incredible.
which gives
This is
Kurzgesagt
incredible.
and
You get the app, you get the website. What more do you want? It works on your phone. It goes for Android, for iPhone. It goes for everything. Look at
This
this
is
bird.
personal.
Look at how sad he looks. That's you without this. That's how you look without this. But then
to
if
us,
you
like
get
most-
this,
like
you'll
for
be a
most of his
happy
life.
bird.
Until-
Look how sad he is right now. But now he's
Lines.
on this side.
One
and he's
side
gonna get
parallel
happier.
would
Look how happy this bird is, kind of, or especially this one right here. This bird is a lot happier. But like, this could be you. You could be the happy bird. Don't be the sad
Ignore
bird.
events.
Be the
If it
happy
seems to you
bird.
that people who you disagree with live in a parallel world,
Exactly.
this is a huge reason why.
Yeah.
But all of us really should have a complete picture of
Yes, we should know what these things look like. We should know when a person is telling us a story, whether they're left or right leaning. And then what if you get two different things about this? Look at the microplastics found in the cloud. Is it left or is it right leaning? They say it's left. I don't know. Look how much happier the bird is now. You could be flying high with all this news, guys. Love it. Live it.
experiments.
This is
We'll
incredible.
first add some
Shout outs to oh my gosh, shout outs to Kurzgesagt for just being so freaking incredible, and he's doing all this stuff. Look at these charts.
our work
Make sure
is
you go check out
scientific.
this chart, guys. This is incredible. You know who they sell this stuff? You know they sell this stuff? Go to their website. The link will be down below. Make sure I put the link in there, and then put a little plow, like a little explosion behind the link or something like that. Make it really pop off on this moment right here. It's
green
incredible, guys. Go
post
to
in this
this,
very-
buy it now.
a very
Look-
special
Look at the whole website. Look at this. Any of these look cool to you? Yes. The answer is they all look cool. They're all extremely cool looking. I like them all. I want them. You want them. You're going to get them, right? Get me one. Don't actually, but seriously, get two. Look at all this stuff. It's really cool stuff. So, yeah, guys, that was another great video by Kurzgesagt. We learned a lot, mostly you guys, because I seem to have learned. I learned a little bit, but mostly it was just my own assumptions and everything being correct. Now I know that's kind of par for the course for this type of reaction. I'm usually super right and super accurate on all the science stuff. I'm a modern day science guy myself. I'm a little bit of a scientist myself, as some Spider-Man villains would say. So yeah, this has been a fun video. If you made it this far, make sure you remember a lot of what I say is just me joking around and being funny, or at least trying my at the attempt. So, don't take things too seriously, but also take everything I say 100% seriously. I am the world's greatest detective, and I'm not Kurzgesagt, but get me up on the Intergalactic Council, and I promise you I will represent you guys perfectly. So again, if you made it this far and heard those ramblings, shout outs to you. As always, thank you. I love you. Bye.